The camera sweeps across deserts, mountains, and forgotten ruins. As the voice of history rises to remind us that the world was not shaped only by Egypt, Greece, or Rome, beyond the famous empires. Other civilizations lived, fought, traded, and dreamed, and though they are rarely named today, they carried knowledge, power, and faith across continents in silence. These were the Elamites, the Scythians, the Kushans, and the Sogdians. For peoples who are forgotten in the pages of popular history, yet their stories changed the destiny of nations and the very map of the ancient world. Long before Persia rose, the Elamites lived in the lands of present-day Iran, rivals to mighty Mesopotamia. They built cities like Susa and Anshan, where temples rose to their gods and inscriptions recorded their kings. And though they often fought with Babylon and Assyria, they also traded, mixing cultures across borders. The Elamites left behind art of finely carved stone, statues of royal queens, and records of wars that show how deeply they influenced their neighbors. Yet history pushed them aside when Persia rose and absorbed their land. Across the vast steppes north of the Black Sea in Central Asia, the Scythians lived as horse lords, wild and free. They carried short bows and rode with unmatched skill, and their warriors could strike like lightning from the grasslands, leaving enemies trembling. They buried their dead in great kurgans filled with golden treasures, showing a culture rich in art and mystery. And their style of warfare shaped future nomads like the Huns and Mongols. Though the Greeks feared and admired them, and the Persians fought them, the Scythians faded into the winds of the steppe, leaving only their golden artifacts and haunting legends. From the lands of Afghanistan and northern India rose the Kushans, a people who built an empire from the ruins of the Indo-Greeks. They controlled vast stretches of the Silk Road, linking Rome to China, and their kings issued coins that carried Greek letters, Persian gods, and Indian deities all on one face. The Kushans supported Buddhism, and under King Kanishka the Great, they spread the faith into Central Asia and China, leaving behind stupa statues and monasteries that shaped Asia's spiritual map. Their empire was a crossroads of culture and power, yet when new invaders came, the Kushans were broken, and their memory faded into ruins and scattered sculptures. When the Silk Road became the lifeline of trade, the Sogdians of Central Asia were its masters. From their city of Samarkand, they carried silk, spices, and precious gems across deserts and mountains, linking China, Persia, and Rome. They were not empire builders, but connectors, speaking many languages, serving as translators, merchants, and envoys, and through them, ideas of art, religion, and science crossed borders. Even after their land was conquered by stronger empires, the Sogdians remained the lifeblood of trade. Proof that sometimes the greatest power lies not in armies but in the ability to connect worlds. The Elamites, who stood against Mesopotamia, the Scythians who thundered across the steppes, the Kushans who built the crossroads of cultures, and the Sogdians who carried the treasures of the Silk Road were not small names in their own time. They shaped religion, warfare, and trade. Yet their memory is faint compared to Egypt or Rome, proving that history remembers not only by deeds, but also by the voices that tell the story. To uncover them is to restore balance to the past, for without them, the story of civilization is incomplete, and their silent shadows still whisper through ruins, golden artifacts, and the roads that once bound the world together. And so, the forgotten voices rise again, reminding us that history is not only the story of the powerful, but also of those who connected worlds in silence. If you felt these hidden civilizations should never be lost again, Then stay with us on Uncover Time, where we bring the past to life in every episode. Subscribe now, ring the bell of knowledge, and help us uncover more forgotten worlds together.